From a sold-out West Deptford High School, it's Colonial Conference Wrestling tonight. The Red Raiders of Paulsboro and the Eagles of West Deptford High School. Hello everyone, John Mondelli with John Vogeding. And John, an interesting wrestling match. We say it every year these two teams meet. But Paulsboro's streak, 215 straight in the conference, 25 straight years they've won the Colonial. Could tonight be the night those things change?
Well, it could very well happen tonight. I've looked at the lineups over and over and over. I looked at them again when I came tonight. I can see a 7-7 split. I can see it going 6-8 either way. I think it's going to come right down to the end, and certainly West Deptford has the guns to do it. Paulsboro's a very young lineup, going right down to the last weight class last year. Could very well happen again this year. I think there are several key weights. I think Paulsboro has to do well down the bottom, split West Deptford somewhere in the first 4 weight classes. They're vulnerable in the middle, and hope they have enough left at the end where their state champion can maybe be a deciding factor.
Talk about the 7 freshmen. I mean, this is a big match for them. I remember last year, I mean, all the emotion. Can those 7 freshmen withstand that kind of emotion this year?
Well, I think they've done it once already. They did it against Delsey. That was a very big emotional match, and I think one of the keys to that match was the way Matt Hunkler came out of the gate, beat Joe Alexander, who was a state participant last year, and that was a key early factor. But one of the key factors in that meet was the way some of the freshmen persevered. That's what they have to do again tonight. You're dealing with an experienced team, a lot of seniors, against a very inexperienced team that is growing each time they go out. I know people look at Paulsboro and say, well, they're freshmen, but not normal freshmen. I don't know what a normal freshman is, but they're certainly not inexperienced freshmen. They're getting more experience every time they go on the mat, and of course they've come through a pretty good feeder program. So they're playing a big role tonight.
Okay, we talked about Paulsboro. What about West Deptford? What's their key?
Well, I think West Deptford has to win from the big guns. I think John White has to win. I think Stetson has to win. I think Gardner has to win. Craig has to win. Vespi, Shields, Clancy. The ones you expect to win have to win. They have to win, some of them with extra bonus points. If they don't get bonus points, and Paulsboro gets a couple of bonus points, then it could be a very tight match for West Deptford. They have nothing to lose, though. Don't forget, they haven't beat Paulsboro since 1968. And in the history of the competition between the two teams, at one time, years ago, West Deptford led the series with 2 wins against Paulsboro's 1 win. Paulsboro's won 29 years in a row, but this could stop tonight.
Okay, it should be an interesting match with all the action right after this timeout. Welcome back to a loud and sold-out West Deptford High School. And now John Cobb for tonight's introductions.
And now, for the starting lineups, 7 103 rounds for Paulsboro and Hunkler. Including Adam Reed. At 112 pounds for Paulsboro, Jesse Dorn. Including John White. 119 pounds, Paulsboro, Gary Lindenhall. And for the Eagles, Steve Stetson. At 125 pounds, Paulsboro, Debbie Green. And for the Eagles, Jason Gardner. At 130 pounds, Paulsboro, DJ Cameron. And for the Eagles, at 135 pounds for Paulsboro, Marvin Hamilton. For the Eagles, Sean Thomas. At 140 pounds for Paulsboro, Mike Funk. For the Eagles, Chris Vespi. At 145 pounds for Paulsboro, Tom Trexler, James Jones. For the Eagles, Mike Clancy or Steve Whittingham. At 152 pounds for Paulsboro, Larry Duvall. For the Eagles, Mike Kendrick. At 160 pounds for Paulsboro, Andy G-Bam Batista. And for the Eagles, John Craig. At Bennett. For the Eagles, Panther. And 189 pounds for Paulsboro, Warren Sharper, Tony Marina. For the Eagles, Bill Atkinson. At 215 pounds for Paulsboro, Vaughn Claiborne. For the Eagles, Mike D. Shields. At heavyweight for Paulsboro, the returning state champ, Jeremy Ruffin. For the Eagles, Chris Murphy.
Well, there you have it, John.
This is what it's all about, folks.
Al Maloney, the referee tonight, one of the tested veterans from around South Jersey, former state place winner at Edgewood High School in his younger days.
At this time, we ask all fans to
Okay, now we have
as much as possible so
the
people
coin
can have
toss.
a seat. Thank
If
you.
you're West Deptford, what do you want?
Well, you know, I talked to Brian Farnham ahead of time, the head coach of West Deptford. He said it doesn't matter to him. He really did. Paulsboro would like to have the odd bouts, according to Paul Marina.
Big match in the Colonial. Do you see anyone other than West Deptford challenging Paulsboro for the conference?
I think that'd be better answered after tonight, after Collingswood and Audubon wrestle. I think we'll know after that.
Here we go.
Well, West Deptford won the toss, John, and they sent the wrestler out first, so obviously they have the odds.
103 pounds for Paulsboro, Matt Hunkler. For the Eagles.
All right, John, here we go. Adam Reed for West Deptford, a sophomore, 8 wins and 3 losses. He's going to wrestle Matt Hunkler, a sophomore from Paulsboro with 15 wins and 1 loss.
Of course, the common opponent here for these two, Joe Alexander of Delsey. Hunkler with that big win over Alexander a couple weeks ago to the key Paulsboro's win.
I don't think there's any doubt that was the key to that match, among other keys during the match, but nothing like starting off with a win. And he did beat Alexander, and Alexander beat Adam Reed 12-2.
Reed in early, gets a takedown. Remember last year, Gibbons' match against Dwight early set the tone early for Paulsboro.
Well, it certainly did, and that's what they're looking for in the matchup tonight. Paulsboro, I know their coaching staff is looking for more than a 3-point win from Hunter, who just escaped. Hunter's had a great year. I mean, he wrestled in the shadow of Gibbons last year. Gibbons, of course, finishing second to White in the district, and beating White in the dual meet. Hunkler, his loss once this year was to Brad Davenport of Great Bridge, 2-1 in the Deep Creek tournament, and he came back to wrestling for 3rd place in that tournament and beat him 6-5, so he's avenged his only loss this year. Adam Reed, affectionately known as Spike in the halls of West Deptford, lost to Mike Townsend of Triton by a fall in the finals at Egg Harbor Township tournament. He lost to Jim Perry of Camden Catholic by a fall, and as you mentioned earlier, lost to Joe Alexander of Delsey 12-2.
We're 1 minute in, it's 2-1, Reed leading Hunkler. No control.
Ironically, John, the last time that West Deptford beat Paulsboro, we've mentioned this on more than one occasion, certainly we did last year, but that was back in 1968, and everybody from last year remembers that 2 of the wrestlers on that 1968 team were John Craig and Jimmer Shields. Both their sons are wrestling tonight. John Craig is wrestling for West Deptford, and Mike Shields is wrestling for West Deptford. But also in that match back in 1968 was Brian Reed at 148 pounds. He beat Wayne Keeley of Paulsboro 5-2. Well, his son is Adam Reed, or Spike.
And Brian's over here helping us out. He's our spotter on the West Deptford side. We thank him.
Yes. And of course, his brother, Brian's brother, wrestled in the meet that year. He wrestled Sam Giordano. There's a stalling warning against West Deptford. Sam Giordano that night beat Mark Reed 6-1, but the damage had been done already. West Deptford won that meet 26-12. That was the last time that West Deptford beat Paulsboro, and the 31 meets in the history of these 2 schools coming into this meet. Paulsboro has won 28 in a row.
Yeah, one time West Deptford led the series 2-1, but Paulsboro has not lost since. We're through one period, 2-1. Adam Reed of West Deptford leading. 103 pounds, we're just underway. By the way, just not the audience here in the gym. This is fed into the auditorium, closed circuit, John, so we're on live.
Oh boy. Makes me more nervous.
Absolutely.
West Deptford had the choice and deferred. Hunkler starts in the defensive position, quickly gets to his feet. Great follow by Brian Reed, who is still up. You know, years and years ago, West Deptford was the ascending district of Paulsboro, and of course Paulsboro's had wrestling since the 1939-40 season. Stopped it for a couple years during the Second World War, but coming into this meet tonight, Paulsboro's tradition has 710 wins, 52 losses, and 11 ties, which is kind of phenomenal. West Deptford has not been shabby over the years themselves. 341 wins, 191 losses, 6 ties coming into tonight.
Not too bad.
Not at all.
Reed's still in control.
Adam doing a great job of following Hunkler. Well publicized ahead of time, of course. What this meet means tonight is, as you see, an escape by Hunkler. There's 2 points by Hunkler and a takedown.
Hunkler up 4-1. 4-2.
Paulsboro having won 215 consecutive Colonial Conference meets going into this year. Of course, when that first started, Paulsboro would go through a season. There were only 8 teams in the league, so they were 7-0 for several years until Gateway joined the conference, and then they were 8-0 for 3 years until West Deptford joined in 1982 to make a 10-team league, and then they've been 9-0 ever since. Going into tonight where they're 6-0 in the league. Paulsboro entering the meet tonight, 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. The loss, of course, to Apsagami early in the year, and in that same quad, Paulsboro had to come from behind and get a pin by roughing it heavyweight to tie Millville 36-36.
You know, and I think a lot of people thought after those 2 matches, John, that Paulsboro could lose or not win 3 matches, 3 consecutive, not winning 3 matches because they had Delsey next. But they came through in that match, I guess, came up big.
Well, I don't think Paulsboro has lost 3 in a row or going 3 in a row without winning a match since 1968, I believe it was. The only losing season in the history of school, 4-9, as you see Hunkler getting a tilt, getting back points. He's got 3.
He'll be up 7-2.
He has to release the arm. Well, now he's trying to control the wrist, roll the wrist, and they go out of bounds. There's a 3-point near fall.
What do you think Paulsboro's looking for here? You said they're looking for more than 3.
Yes, they need at least 4 points here, John. Theoretically, they're looking for maximum points here. The maximum would be 6 for a fall, but I think they're looking for a minimum of 4, which would be a major decision. And anything more than that would be a bonus for them, as they know they're going to give up big points in a couple of weight classes this evening, just on inexperience alone.
Well, we're down to the final 20 seconds. Hunkler in control most of the second period. And the period, with 2 seconds left, should end 7-2.
Ed Reed will probably be on the bottom to start the last period. We mentioned Paulsboro being 8-1-1. They did finish first in the Caldwell tournament, the opening weekend of the season, because Brick Memorial took a dive and in the finals they won 1 for 7.
That was a bit of, not a bit of a surprise, a major surprise, I think, John, wasn't it?
Well, it was because Paulsboro had so many young people in the lineup. So, Brick Memorial just wasn't ready to wrestle that day. You get 7 guys in the finals and only need 2 wins to win the tournament. You got to get a second win somewhere. And then Paulsboro went down to Deep Creek and had a great tournament down there. Considering the youth on the team, they finished 4th behind Cary, North Carolina, Deep Creek, and Cox. Or excuse me, behind Great Bridge and Cox.
Still 7-2. 130 left. 103 pounds. Adam Reed 8-3. Matt Hunkler 15-1.
it was Reed's choice in this period, and Brian Farnham gave him the signal to take the neutral position because Reed had gotten the takedown in the first period, but he's in jeopardy here.
There's the two. It's 9-2. Still a 3-point decision at this point.
Hunter has to work hard for back points here. A minute to go in the match. 9-2. It's still a 3-point.
There's a stall warning on White. I mean on Reed. And there's the stall.
Well, that's
so
a point.
Big point in the match.
Stand up! Get your head up!
40 seconds left.
Hunter doing a great job on top again. He's working very hard. You got to give Reed a lot of credit for trying to keep the match close.
Stand up!
Not giving up any more than 3 points. That's another stall. That's another point.
And there we go. We might have some back points here.
And if he gets hit for stalling again, it would be 2 points. He's going to run out of time.
We'll get some back points, but we're down to
near full, but it's
7 seconds.
Still only going to be a 4-point match.
That's it. Final 14-2.
Well, 14-2, that gives them 14 points, which was the minimum they felt they had to have coming out of this match.
3 pounds, winner by major decision for Paulsboro, Matt Humpler.
And that sends Hunter to 16-1 on the season.
Yeah, I think Humpler is one guy, maybe not in Paulsboro that has been a surprise, but throughout South Jersey, was given wrestle last year at this weight class. Not many people know about it. You think it's loud in here, John? I said, do you think it's loud in the gym tonight?
Well, I have to try and read your lips, John. All right, this is advantage West Deptford, in my opinion. John White, only 6-2 this year because he missed a few meets for a suspension, non-wrestling related. But he is a tough hombre. He lost to Robert Becker of Clearview 6-3, and he lost to Bill Heverly of Camden Catholic 13-8. He is the returning champion in District 29 and Region 8. And when he's on, he's tough.
He's going up against Jesse Thorne. Thorne is 5-5. I think West Deptford is definitely looking for 6 here.
Oh, absolutely. Thorne 5-5. He's lost to a wrestler from Kittatinny. He lost to Pensgrove. He lost to Absegami. He lost to Haddon Heights. He's lost to some quality wrestlers. But Jesse, still, he's a freshman. And when you're going against a junior with John White's credentials, you're definitely the underdog.
Of course, many people remember, as we mentioned earlier, White losing to Gibbon in the dual meet and then coming back and winning the districts and regions. We'll score this through the first minute.
And beating Gibbon twice down the stretch to do it.
Right.
In the districts and in the regions.
Still no control.
Now he's got it.
Now to takedown, 2-0. John White of West Deptford.
Well, the big key here again is trying to keep White to as few points as possible. He's got that arm tied up pretty tight. 30 seconds in the period.
White working hard.
15 seconds in the period. Well, now Maloney, having been a wrestler himself, he's watching very carefully.
I was going to say,
there comes the stall call, because he wants to see the man, even though the top man may be dominating, he wants to see the bottom man make a legitimate attempt to get off the bottom. That's why he got the stalling call.
I was just going to ask you if you thought it was about time for a stall.
Well, you saw the official looking in there very carefully. Paulsboro defers. West Deptford chooses a neutral position. Yeah, Al Maloney was right down the mat. He watches the wrestler on the bottom. He looks right into his face. He looks to see if he's trying to get up off his base. He knows the top man is working, so he's going to see how hard the bottom man is working. And if he's not working hard to get off the bottom, that causes the stalling call.
White aiming a quick takedown, and Thorne's in no trouble.
Thorne has to get away from that. There's a takedown. White had the half in there initially.
Yeah, looked like he was working on a 5-point move there.
As it was. And see, Thorne has got to make a legitimate attempt now to come up off that. Even though You got the more dominant wrestler on top, the more experienced wrestler. Thorne has to move on the bottom.
Didn't get the count. Thorne with the leg.
Oh, fighting back. Reversal. Oh, brother. 1 minute left in the period. 4-2. John White and West Deptford leading.
I'll tell you what, we thought it was loud last year. It's loud. White comes back.
My. Oh, brother. Holy mackerel. Oh, brother. He has to watch his own back, though.
Yeah, we've seen defensive pins before. He's in a little trouble.
Now you're going to get back points, you're going to get a reversal. Near fall for Paulsboro, reversal for West Deptford.
6'5", John White.
Well, they got 6'5" up on the board. We had a 3-point. Must have given a 3-point near fall.
I tell you, Paulsboro is questioning the score.
Well, I
Looks
think
like now.
West Deptford definitely has 6 points because they got to take down the first period, take down the second period, and then reversal. But Thorne got a reversal and must have gotten a 3-point near fall. I thought there was only 2, but it must have been 3. West Deptford needs 6-5. Paulsboro had a choice, and they took the neutral position.
Thorne shooting.
Oh, my. Oh, brother.
And a takedown. Not yet. Didn't get it yet. No.
No.
Now he's in trouble.
But how about this for a freshman against a defending district and regional champion, and he gets a takedown. Amazing. This is amazing.
7-6.
Thorne leading. Amazing. Stalemate call. Well, what Thorne has to do now, John, he is leading by a point. He has to keep the pressure on, and here we have an injury timeout. Probably the last thing that Paulsboro wanted was an injury timeout, as you see John White being attended to. Well, over in the other corner, we see Paul Marino talking to Jesse Thorne, along with Dean Duca. Unbelievable. Well, this is a moral victory for Jesse Thorne, whether he wins or not.
Absolutely.
7-6 over a district and regional champion.
Okay, John White's back. 1:22 left. Second period. Scoreboard has third period. Second period.
It is the third. It is the third.
Oh, it is?
It is the third.
Oh, I can't count.
6-5 after 2, and then Thorne took the neutral position in the third period. Oh, brother, look at this. Near side cradle. White's a tough one to cradle, though. He's tough. Got the arm out. That's trouble. 1 minute to go in the period. Thorne's got a death grip on there. Oh, brother.
And they're out.
Oh, brother. Well, John, I don't believe what I'm seeing. I think John White was decidedly a very heavy favorite coming into this bout. Jesse Thorne is really, really putting on a show.
50 seconds left. Thorne in control. Thorne does have a stall warning. White has none. But he is working on the top, so I don't think that's a concern right now.
And one thing we know, it won't end up a tie because you got to go overtime.
Absolutely.
Now, you might have another stalemate situation.
Strange over on the Paulsboro bench, screaming the loudest is Kevin Ross.
Well, you know, Kevin stopped down to practice the night before this match here and gave them quite a pep talk, reminding them where they're from.
We're down to the final 25 seconds.
Amazing. 20 seconds ago, I just don't believe what I'm seeing, John. Oh, brother! Oh, my! Oh, brother! Jesse Thorne's wrestling the match of his young life. Here comes an escape. Is there neutral? with 5 seconds to go.
2 seconds.
That ties it up, 7-7. That neutral came with 5 seconds to go. There's 2 seconds left.
Okay, Votes, tell me what happens with the penalty points in overtime. Stall warnings, do they carry
Everything
over?
carries over.
Everything carries
Everything carries
over.
over. We go right into overtime right now. Right in, it's 7-7. The stall warning carries over. And they'll start on their feet. Sudden death, first point wins it.
Okay, here we go.
Amazing. Oh, brother! Oh, brother!
Unbelievable.
Oh, my!
This may be the biggest upset we've seen in a long time.
9 seconds in.
Take a break. Paulsboro up 7-0. We'll be back. Okay, back at West Deptford High School, and we just saw an unbelievable match. Paulsboro's Jesse Thorne defeating defending District 29 Region A champ John White in overtime. Now it's 119. Steve Stetson 8-3 against Preston Hamilton of Paulsboro coming in 6-1. Kind of a shock, and we haven't seen Hamilton that much this season. Against troublemaking weight, John.
Well, he has, John. Early in the year, he wrestled 19 in the Caldwell tournament. He went down to Virginia. He made the 12-pound weight class down there. He won the tournament down there. But, obviously the young man is growing. He's had a horrible time trying to make 112 pounds. He's had a tough time making 119 pounds. But this is a big match tonight. He wrestled earlier in the JV match. He won there, and he's eligible to wrestle tonight in the varsity match. But this is a big, big match.
I'll tell you what, he's in trouble.
Brother.
Steve Stetson, let me tell you, John, I saw him against Todd Trampay. Steve Stetson is strong.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Very strong. And I'll tell you what, he's up 4-0.
Well, Stetson 9-3, as you mentioned. He's a sophomore. He lost to Tom McLaughlin of Egg Harbor Township 8-4 in the finals of that tournament. He lost to Mike Zeckman of Woodbury. Nobody's beaten Mike Zeckman yet. 9-3. He lost to Todd Trampay 12-11, as you mentioned. But that itself speaks volumes. Only losing 12-11 to Trampay.
Yeah,
Preston
Trampay.
Hamilton's only loss was to Jeff Beverly at Point Pleasant Borough in the finals of the Caldwell tournament.
Yeah, Trampay had all kinds of problems with his strength. I think it really surprised him.
Preston Hamilton, of course, is the son of another Paulsboro wrestler, Marvin Hamilton, and Preston's brother, Marvin Hamilton Jr., will be wrestling later in this program.
Yeah, Hamilton's, it's a big wrestling name in South Jersey. And on the West Deptford side, the Farnham's a pretty big name, right?
Well, very
Then
big.
Brian's brother Kevin, I think, is a state champ.
Yes, and Brian had himself quite a career also at Haddon Township High School. He was a two-time district champion, a two-time regional champion. He finished his wrestling career at Haddon Township with 106 wins, 16 losses, and a tie. Brother Kevin went 111 wins and 9 losses and was the state champion. And of course, Brian is assisted by Greg Lay, a Gateway graduate, and Vince Layton, a West Deptford graduate.
As a matter of fact, Vince is doing a little mat cleanup right now.
Yes, he is. There's a little bleeding out there. And of course, now the rules are with bleeding, you have to start the clock because there is blood time. They total that up, and you got a maximum of 5 minutes of blood time. And if you don't control the bleeding, there's an escape. If you don't control the bleeding, it could eventually cost a wrestler by default.
Is it you gave the time on blood. Is there like 1 pint too, a 1 pint limit, or no, nothing like that?
No.
This is for the people in the auditorium. Going into 152 pounds, Delsey leads Pennsville 27-9, so it looks like it's going to go what? Down to Delsey Kingsway.
Delsey and Kingsway.
And that's later on in the season for the
Yes.
Trico Royal Division crown.
That probably was thanks to John Belinsky there and his cellular phone. He probably called over to find out what's going on.
You got to love those cell phones.
And we got to take that mic off John Cobb, don't we?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll bring it down right now since we just told them, and bring it up when their next match starts.
John, of course, the well-known in West Deptford as the coach of the
girls soccer
Fantastic
team.
girls soccer team.
He's not only that. As a matter of fact, he's coming on my show tomorrow, his day after Paulsboro West Deptford wrestling match visit. He is also my insurance man, handles my homeowners and car insurance. I got Steve Anashevsky handling my life and my kids' investments. So I stretch it out both sides of the gymnasium tonight.
Well, I'm telling
There's
you what.
my free plugs. We're done with that.
Yeah, you're taking your life in your own hands with those two guys.
Absolutely. Second period just underway. Stetson has a 4-1 lead over Preston Hamilton. It's a little less noisy.
Well, I think people are still stunned from that second match with John White getting beat by Jesse Thorne in overtime. Preston Hamilton gets an escape. 4-2. Steve Stetson is leading here. Stetson, as we mentioned, a sophomore, very good sophomore.
Hey, John, getting back to the 112 match, Thorne being a freshman, a win like that, what can it do for him the rest of the season?
Well, I think that's got to pump him up immeasurably. Now, I think another question to be answered, obviously, if Preston Hamilton's wrestling 19 right now, Demi Green's not wrestling 19, but Demi Green, I think, is going to beat our 19-pounder when we go into district time. If Preston Hamilton can make 114, and you know the weights change February 1st. If he can make 114, then Jesse Thorne would have to have a wrestle-off with Preston to see who goes at that weight class. But, you know, Jesse Thorne has just paid so many big dividends for Paulsboro so early in the match here. I mean, that was a match. We were conceding anywhere, the people who were trying to chart it ahead of time, were conceding anywhere from 4 to 6 points for John White. Look at this throw. Oh, brother. Oh, my. Holy mackerel.
Typical 5-point move.
Oh, brother. Oh, my.
32 seconds.
He's got it tight. Oh, my. Oh, my. What a huge upset this would be for Paulsboro. Will be huge points if they win this bout. Oh, brother. 10 seconds left.
Still not there.
Will not get the pin, but he's going to come out with a 7-4 lead. 3 points, near fall. Preston Hamilton with a 5-point move. In this period, 6 points, an escape, a takedown, a near fall, and he takes a 7-4 lead.
But John, you know what's interesting now? Should Paulsboro win it here, do you send Demian Green out to wrestle Jason Garner?
Good question. Good question. I like Gary Mendenhall. My personal opinion, I think I would probably, if I were coaching, I would probably send Mendenhall out against Gardner. Gardner's on a roll right now. I would probably put Demian Green against Merrill Alloway. He's wrestled him before. He knows his moves. Merrill Alloway 7-5. Jason Gardner's 14-0. Mendenhall has wrestled really tough this year. Only has 2 losses. One was to a wrestler from Great Bridge in overtime. The other one was to Wagner, a very impressive wrestler from Delsey. So we'll see what happens when that comes up.
Still a lot of time left. 2 minutes left.
2 minutes.
As we begin the third period, 7-4. 5-point move for Preston Hamilton.
Oh, my.
Of course, Stetson has a 4-point move.
Yes, he did. Hamilton, the youngest of Marvin Hamilton's children. Like I said, Marvin Hamilton Jr. will be wrestling later in the program. He's a senior. Preston Hamilton has the moves his daddy showed back in the 60s. Very gutty, very courageous.
I was barely alive back then, Village. I couldn't tell you.
Well, Marvin Sr., he was a 2-time district champion. Started a run. You get a stalling call, and the stalling call there is a parallel ride.
Got to work to the side, try and...
Yeah, you got to get out perpendicular. Is what the officials are looking for. I mean, the wrestler on top has got to work for the pin, so he's got to get out perpendicular. Oh, my! Oh, brother.
Might be a little high.
If he gets his hips down,
Hamilton can just stay there for a while.
Oh, brother. That's twice now he's put Stetson on his back. Oh, my. This would be a huge, huge win for Paulsboro. 45 seconds to go, third period. Preston Hamilton gets a 3-point near fall, and that makes it 10-4.
I think he's looking for some additional team points. If he can turn him one more time, it's another point for Paulsboro. We have 30 seconds left. For Stetson, on the other hand, you know, obviously he's going to obviously not try to let that happen. I mean, that's obviously a obvious statement.
17 seconds to go as they go out of bounds. Well, this has got to be a stunner for Brian Farnham, the West Deptford coach. He said before the match started tonight, he wasn't worried about the coin flip. Told his guys are well prepared, ready to go out and wrestle. And he said, obviously, their aim was to win tonight because nobody's beaten Paulsboro for so many years in the Colonial Conference. And of course, you were asking the question earlier about when's the last time Paulsboro lost on the road to a South Jersey team. And we kind of figured out it was back in 1976 when Rancocas Valley did it up there.
And that's it. 10-4, Preston Hamilton, the winner. The team lead is now Paulsboro 10, West Deptford nothing. Well, you know you'll see Jason Gardner.
I'll definitely see Gardner. February 14th, 1976, John.
Yeah, that's a long
Paulsboro went up to
time.
Rancocas Valley, lost.
It is Mendenhall.
That stopped the streak of 84 in a row, John. And I thought it would never be duplicated. And they followed that up with 96 in a row. Gary Mendenhall, 9-2. I mentioned earlier, he's a junior. Lost to Andy Putnam of Great Bridge, 6-4 in overtime. Lost to Mike Wagner of Delsey, 3-0, 3-0. Jason Gardner, senior, District 29, and Region 8 champ at 119 pounds last year. 14-0 this year. 72 and 22 in his career, John.
You know, it'll be interesting to see when you get to tournament time with Mike Zeckman, where Zeckman goes, where Gardner goes. Gardner
Oh, my. Oh, brother. Well, we know that Gardner was at 119 pounds for the Kingsway match. He weighed in at 19, and Andy Vlecko weighed in at 19. They wrestled at 25 in that match, but they both weighed in at 119. I think with Green at 19, with Zeckman at 19, with Andy Vlecko at 19, I think Gardner might well be at 25 when district time rolls around.
That's definitely a tough weight class. Gardner.
Hit on the head, got the ankle.
Got the takedown. Gardner, throughout his midget career and high school career, has never lost to a Paulsboro wrestler. I think he made his big name his freshman year when he beat Seneca Cooper in the Paulsboro West Deptford dual meet. A lot of people said, "Who's Jason Gardner?"
Yeah, and he beat him pretty handily. And Seneca Cooper has turned out to be a pretty good wrestler. Jason Gardner beat Cooper 16-9 that year when he was a freshman. As a sophomore year, he beat Steve Sarbello 6-5. Sarbello wasn't too shabby. And last year, he beat Sarbello again 8-5. So he beat two pretty good wrestlers in the Paulsboro lineup over the last 3 years, and Seneca Cooper and Steve Sarbello.
And as we said with Mendenhall's record, he's not a bad wrestler.
Well, he's been, I think, a pleasant surprise. He missed last season. He broke his leg, I believe, in midget football, and he missed the entire season last year. And has been a real plus for the team this year, wrestling either 19 or 25, wherever he's needed. And it's done an admirable job. 9-2 certainly attests to that with the quality losses that he has. It's pretty tough to beat a guy with that many tattoos on his body.
Well, that leads you to my trivia question, Village. I told you I had a trivia question.
Yes, you did.
I asked Jason today, how much money do you think he has on his body in tattoos? I was talking to Jason and his dad earlier.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you a period to think about that. How much money did he spend on tattoos? That's a lot.
End of the period, Jason Gardner is leading 2-0. Well, Paulsboro defers to West Deptford. West Deptford takes the bottom. How much money? Well, I'll tell you, there's some pretty snazzy tattoos, too.
Now, one of them's not finished yet, he was telling me.
Uh-oh.
I like Jason Gardner, though. I mean, I just think he's a great wrestler. He's up 2-0.
Well, I was impressed with him last year, John. Needless to say, I'm not changing my opinion. I think he's definite district material again. And definitely has a shot going back to the state tournament. He's on a mission. A lot of minds rolling going into this match. Who would be where? Who would do what? Who would score the points?
Right. And I think everybody thought that West Deptford would win at least 2 of the first 4. So I think a major shock here of Paulsboro winning the first 3. Well, look at this move.
Yep. Stepping over, gets those hips over. Trouble. Reversal. Oh my, big trouble. He's stretching him out. Oh my. Oh, he's sinking it tighter now, John.
And West Deptford needs the 6. This is big for them.
Very big. Oh my. Oh, what a fight by Mendenhall. John, this is the type of wrestling they did against Delsey. 3-point near fall, but he did not get pinned at that point. Makes it 7-0. Jason Gardner, but that was crucial. When you lose the first 3 weight classes, you want major points, you want bonus points. And Gardner's background experience, I'm sure.
Stall on Paulsboro.
The look here was for extra points. You know, there's a situation there where I don't exactly agree with that stalling call, because Gardner is obviously dominating the match out there.
I think a key in this match could also be the conditioning. Who wins the 3rd periods? Who gives up the extra points?
This has been a Paulsboro trait for a number of years. I mean, there's no doubt that Paulsboro wrestled very well against Delsey in the 3rd period, and they've done this against a number of teams. The team that manhandled them this year was Absegami. I'm not so sure they're not the best team in South Jersey. Highland's #1 in the Courier Post top 20 poll right now, and Highland's 1, Absegami's 2. But Highland had a very, very close match at Washington Township not but a week ago, and I think Absegami might be ready to take over the top spot. And of course, no team other than Paulsboro Highland has ever won the Courier Post Cup.
Well, Saturday at 11, I think, was it? At Highland, Camden Catholic and Highland?
Yeah, they'll go off at noontime.
Is that what
the varsity match. JV starts around 11.
Okay.
But that'll be a big test for. Oh, we have another injury timeout. That'll be a big test for Highland because, ironically, John, Highland in the Olympic Conference, should they win tonight, this Wednesday night, as this match is going on against Overbrook, which I think they will win, they will have had 92 consecutive wins among the Olympic Conference teams, against Olympic Conference teams. The last team to beat Highland in the Olympic Conference was Paul the Sixth.
We talked about this.
Okay.
All right.
And the coach at Paul the Sixth at that time was Gary Papa. All right. The Camden Catholic coach currently is Gary Papa. So if the streak stops Saturday with Camden Catholic, it'll be Gary Papa.
Playing a part in both of them. How about that?
That's right. See Paul Marina talking to Gary Mendenhall. Well, with Mendenhall going here and Preston Hamilton having gone at 19, that means Demian Green's going to go against Merrill Alloway. Now the key in this last period with a 7-0 score, John, is that Jason Gardner has to work to get bonus points. That means he needs at least one more point. That means Mendenhall with a stalling warning has to keep moving. If he doesn't, he's going to get hit with a stall. That'll give it the major decision.
Can I tell you something right now, barring a pin? We will see another stall call.
That's your prediction?
That's my prediction.
Okay.
I've been wrong before, but I just...
Well, again,
I can sense trends.
Yeah, I'd like to see where it comes, because I'd like to see if a wrestler is getting dominated, I got to see how it's going to come. And whenever Al Maloney gets down on the mat on one knee like that,
he's ready to make the call.
Definitely looking to see if the wrestler on the bottom is working as hard as he can work. Well, I'll give an estimate. I'll say that all the tattoos that Jason Gardner has on his body right now cost in excess of $250.
Try $700.
You're kidding.
700. Not bad.
That would buy a pretty neat computer. Or part of a computer.
Yeah. Hey, Voj, you have some nice little trivia for us coming up. Last time West Deptford beat Paulsboro, what could that $700 buy?
Well, we have
another injury time.
Another injury timeout. Well, you know, ironically, back in 1968, when
People
West
live for
Deptford
this, Voj.
beat Paulsboro 26-12. You know, a few of the things you could buy that day. Bread was selling 2 loaves for 57 cents.
Buy a lot of bread.
Ivory soap was 5 cents a bar, and a shank portion of smoked ham sold for 37 cents a pound at the food fair. You know, that was the day when you got S&H green stamps. Leftover 1967 Fords were selling for less than $3,000, and a 67 Chevy Impala could be had for $2,895, and a 67 Corvette for $4,195.
Thank you, Voj.
That buys you about 4 hubcaps nowadays.
25 seconds left.
Well,
there's that stall.
Well, you were right, John, and I disagree.
A lot of the Paulsboro crowd does, but hey, there's a shock.
Well, we got a guy, a dominant wrestler on top, who just took a timeout for an injury. He's had 2 timeouts. He's the dominant wrestler. He should be putting this wrestler on his back.
Well, down to the final 7 seconds, and it looks like
it makes
it'll be
no difference now.
4-point win.
Well, and Gardner's frustrated, let go of right at the end, and I saw that cost the Lenape wrestler a match against Camden Catholic, or Camden Catholic a match against Lenape.
Paulsboro leads 10-4. We'll be back. Back at West Deptford High School.
Now wrestling at 130 pounds from Paulsboro.
John Conway going out for West Deptford. We have a lineup switch. He's 1-4.
Here we go.
Demian Green for
The
Paulsboro.
switches have started. John Conway, a junior, 1 win and 4 losses. What Brian Reed is doing here, Brian Reed sitting next to us. What Brian Farnham, the head coach, is doing here, I think he's trying to think ahead and maybe go big points for big points, knowing that maybe Demian Green pinned Merrill Alloway last year, so he's willing to put John Conway out and maybe frustrate the junior from Paulsboro and keep the points to a minimum and hope that Merrill Alloway, who's having a fine year again, gets big points against Paulsboro's freshman, Dominic Cameron. John Conway, as we mentioned, 1 win and 4 losses. Demian Green, career wins, 61 career wins, 15 losses. He's 9-3 this year. Lost to Bruce Fowler of Breakbridge 10-8. He lost up a weight class at 125 to Matsuki Goodwin of Absagami 8-3. And of course he lost to Mike Zeckman, who I mentioned earlier, everybody seems to be losing to, 5-0. Demian Green was 2nd in the districts last year. We got Mercado from Pittman. And he was 2nd in the regions last year, getting one of those mysterious pins on what seemed to be a roll through.
Well, Conway holding his own in the first minute.
The first of several changes, I'm sure. I think what Demian Green has to think of here first is start getting some points to get a lead. He can't get frustrated out there. He got frustrated against Matumi Goodwin of Absagami. Psychologically, sometimes when you wrestle out of your weight class, and he's been a 19-pounder all year, wrestled 25 against Goodwin. Here he's wrestling at 130 pounds and weighed in at 25. Still giving weight away, and I guess psychologically you start to think about that as the match goes on out there. This seems to indicate to me that Merrill Alloway will go at the next weight class, and Sean Thomas will knock him on the mat. By the way, John, did you see Lee Campbell tonight here in the audience?
Oh yeah, he's looking good.
The Moose?
That's your nickname for him, huh? That's a Paulsboro nickname.
Yeah, what a great season he had in football, leading that team to the streak is now up to 51 in a row. Lee Campbell, one of the great running backs and linebackers, a real workmanlike job this year. No score at the end of 1, 130 pounds. Demian Green of Paulsboro against John Conway of West Deptford. Conway defers.
Conway, obviously,
Vince Layton
likes
looking
himself
on.
on his feet. Going to let Demian Green go, it looks like.
Using a freestyle start. Well, Green couldn't take him down the entire first period, so.
Why take a chance of getting reversed?
Well, now this is where Green has to use his speed, has to go to work, and he gets 2 for a takedown.
And they're out. 3-0. Demian Green, Paulsboro leading. 10-4 the match score. Paulsboro leads by 130 pounds.
You see Demian's right hand is taped up, John. He broke a finger 2 weeks before the end of football season in gym class playing volleyball.
Never in favor of volleyball in gym class, actually.
Well, especially when you have a football team that was having the kind of year they were having as their starting wide receiver. I think I would have given him a clipboard and told him to take attendance, you know. You don't look to get injured in volleyball, but you can get injured crossing the street nowadays. Green working, trying to work in the Hamilton guy.
Conway's got to work on the bottom, too.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, if Mendenhall was stalling in the last weight class, I wonder what the difference is in this weight class. Oh my, almost slipped it. Had the start of the Hamilton, went for the half and missed it. Now he's got the Turk in, now he's got the half in. He's going to run out of room.
No back points.
Green working.
Back to the center.
.48 seconds left, second period. Green is taking a 3-0 lead with an escape and a takedown. Given the escape. Earned the takedown. Well, Mr. Maloney is looking at the wrestler. Well, that's the same look Maloney was giving Mendenhall and come up with a stalling call. Just missed the half again. Trying for the near side, a little bit of a cradle, missed that.
Out of room again. Well, I think Paulsboro's looking for more than 3 points here, John.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, they were willing to take a Green against Alloway and go for a 3-0 win, but when you send out the backup wrestler out here and you got an experienced wrestler who has wrestled 76 times, there's the stalling warning against West Deptford. Wrestler has wrestled 76 times in his varsity career. Going at this. Oh, brother, look at this. No, not enough time. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. With 1 second left in his second period, Demian Green wins by fall in 3 minutes, 59 seconds.
We're going to take a break. Paulsboro up 16-4. Just underway in the first period, 135 pounds. Dominic DJ Kama for Paulsboro. Merrill Alloway for West Deptford. This is one of those freshman-senior matches, John. Kama's having a great season. Alloway with experience.
My. Going to get out of bounds. No possession yet. Out of bounds. Still neutral. Dominic Kama, brother of John Kama, who wrestled here at West Deptford.
Right.
A Suter bloodline involved. Dominic's mother is one of the Suter clan from the Matt and Tim and Fred and Jason. Quite a clan. This is Dominic Kama. He's 12-4, a freshman. He lost to a wrestler from Truman, New York in the Caldwell semifinals. Lost to a wrestler from Great Bridge, Virginia in the semifinals of the Deep Creek tournament. He lost to Chris Thompson of Millville by a fall, got headlocked. And he lost to Mike Barikian of Sterling as he was leading that match. Of course, Merrill Alloway, a tested veteran for West Deptford, 7-5. He lost to Nick Donato of Highland. Lost by default to a wrestler from Tom River South. He got pinned by Ricky Kelly of Kingsway. Paulsboro award for stalling. He lost by fall to Rich Helms of Haddon Township, and he lost by fall to Brian Green of Pennsville. Merrill Alloway was 4th in the districts last year. Dominic Kama in deep. Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. He's got 6 seconds to get it. He's got to get his leg out.
There's the 2.
He got it. And he back points. Did he get back points?
Now, there's a takedown with 2 seconds to go. And you can't get back points. Well, it's really hard to get back points there because you have to have at least a 2 count. And the call came with 2 seconds to go. 2-0 Dominic Kama after 1.
Alloway with a big win Saturday against Delsey.
Well, Merrill Alloway has been in the lineup for several years.
Matter of fact, he had a big win against Camden Catholic. I think he beat Precocious.
Precocious. Yeah.
Big win there.
Who has been injured a little bit this year. No excuses intended. Merrill Alloway certainly has been around. Merrill Alloway last year was pinned by Demian Green at 112 pounds. The year before, he was pinned by Jason Bish at 108 pounds. But Merrill Alloway's been around, he hasn't escaped. Dominic Kama, again, one of the better freshman wrestlers in the lineup for Paulsboro.
What's his move? Looks like he likes that headlock.
He's a thrower. He's a lot of young guys come up out of the midgets nowadays are throwers. For some reason, they love that headlock situation, and I'm not particularly a fan of that, but you got to do what comes naturally to you, and if they're comfortable with that, they're going to make it work. Paulsboro lineup tonight contains 2 seniors, Marvin Hamilton Jr. and Jermaine Ruffin. Everybody else will be back next year.
As we talked about earlier, these matches can only help those freshmen.
Well, you see a crowd like this in the gymnasium, over 700 people in here tonight. You know, they love quality wrestling. They're going to see quality wrestling. They're going to see tradition at stake, as you see the takedown by Dominic Kama. You know, Kevin Ross, excellent product of Paulsboro, now playing professional football. Did not wrestle in high school. He wrestled in the midgets, but played basketball at Paulsboro High School. But such a meaningful person to the community of Paulsboro and to the sports teams there, as you see it escape. And he went down last night, talked to practice to the wrestlers, and told them that you have to be yourself out there. You got a history. There's a lot of pride at stake. Go out and do the job.
Kama leads 4-2, 14 seconds left, second period. I guess the big question is next week, will he go speak when they have Kingsway, since he lives in the Kingsway School District?
I believe he bleeds Paulsboro red.
Okay, just checking that one out.
And the 2 periods, Dominic Kama, DJ, leading 4-2 over Merrill Alloway. Kama will start the 3rd period on the bottom. Had that start on the bottom. That,
just like Matt had.
And like Jason.
In the heavyweight bout, 38-25, Delsey leads Pennsville, so Delsey wins.
That's right, Delsey wins that match, 38-25 going into the heavyweight bout. Kama trying to sneak out the back door here. He's got the 1-leg hook. If he pops his head free, he's going to have a reversal. Working. He's working.
He got it. Very impressed by the show Paulsboro's putting on so far. Still a lot of time left because West Deptford's getting strong, getting to their strength.
Their strength is coming up. I think Marvin Hamilton Jr. coming out next. I think he's a decided favorite for. Well, I won't say a decided favorite. He's got a veteran he's going to wrestle against, and Chris Vespi. If Vespi comes out next.
Actually, when I look, I mean, West Deptford's strength was also the lightweights, too, and Paulsboro did pretty well there.
Well, I think the shocker was Jesse Thorne beating a returning district and regional champion. That was a real shocker. And then Preston Hamilton making 119 pounds and going against a very good wrestler in Steve Stetson and winning that match. Those are 2 big shots in the arm for Paulsboro.
6-3, Kama leads, 40 seconds left. And another takedown. It's now 8-3.
And I guess we might as well go on record, John, that meet is not over by a long shot, but Steve Anashevsky, who does these things over and over and over in his mind, felt that Paulsboro could win 8 matches tonight. I disagree with him. I thought they could win 7.
It's a stall on green. Alloway will get the escape.
10 seconds to go.
8-4, I think.
Oh my, oh
Little
my.
headbutt.
Oh, brother. You gotta call that. You gotta call that.
Paul Marina is out on the
You
mat.
gotta
He
call
is very
that.
upset.
Oh, brother. Is that unsportsmanlike?
Talking to Alloway.
Unnecessary roughness, I guess. Oh, brother.
And they'll wrestle at the last second. 9-4. DJ Kama, the winner. Paulsboro now up 19-4. John, let's go back to that previous weight class. And this is Demi Green.
Now wrestling at 140 pounds.
He's sinking it tight. Got a head. Look at that. Just had to sunk that half. And got the ball.
Chris Vespi for West Deptford. Marvin Hamilton Jr.
And we have a senior against a senior. Marvin Hamilton Jr., 13-2 this year. 60 wins, 14 losses in his career. Lost to R.J. Davis of Cox, 13-11, John. And really a shame of a loss because Hamilton wrestled his butt off and made one mistake out there, got back points against himself, and will live this day to regret it because the next guy, this guy that he lost to, goes in the finals and wins by a fall in the first period. No doubt in my mind, if Ham had advanced to the finals, he would have been in the Deep Creek tournament. And then he had a bad match against Paul Hess of Absagami. It was a caution against West Deptford. And he lost 9-5 to Paul Hess at 130 pounds. Second in the districts last year, Marvin Hamilton Jr.
Yeah, great match against Van Brill last year, I believe, in the district finals.
Oh, he certainly did. Certainly did. And again, a little bit of exuberance last year, a little bit of loss of focus for one point in the match. Van Brill took advantage of it, the cagey veteran that he was, and got the fall. Chris Vespi, 9-6 this year. Lost to a wrestler from Southern Regional. He lost by a fall to Thompson of Millville. He lost 3-1 to Giordano of Vineland. He got pinned by Papa of Camden Catholic. Lost to a very impressive wrestler by the name of John Wengert from Delsey, who's going to be around for several years. Chris Vespi was 4th in District 29 last year. Less than a minute to go. Scoreless first period.
And a takedown for Hamilton.
Now what he's got to work on here, he's got to keep his man flattened down. He's got to try for that patented Hamilton ride if he can. Work for back points.
Where do you see Hamilton wrestling when it comes tournament time? Do you think he'll be at 30, 35?
You know, I kind of think Green's going to be at 19 if Preston Hamilton can make 14. And then I think it'll be between Marv Hamilton and Dominic Cam as to who goes at 25. Oh, then Mendenhall's got to figure into the mix too. It's going to be a tough decision. Mendenhall's wrestling very well. But these wrestlers may drop. Cam and Hamilton may drop. Of course, you got to be 50% of your weigh-ins have to be at the weight class you wrestle in districts too. So I haven't kept up with that. And we're reaching February very shortly. Sure. And you got to start looking at where they've weighed in during the season. West Deptford had choice and deferred. Marv Hamilton took the top, which means
he thinks he can get some back points, obviously.
Has to get back points.
Absolutely. You're going to start there.
Caution on the bottom. That's the second caution. And of course, after the second one, you can have as many as you want, but everyone's going to cost you a point from here on. (19-4), the surprising team score. As we're at 140 pounds, Paulsboro leading, shockingly, by that margin, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I also think West Deptford's got to start thinking about, you know, they got to start thinking 6 points, don't they? I mean, obviously Craig does. And, you know, sometimes that can lead to some mistakes.
Well, when you need 6 points and you try to force something for 6 points, sometimes you get yourself in jeopardy. I think we may have seen that with Stetson a little bit. He got. I think he was maybe the focus was more on trying to get back points since he got early back points against Preston Hamilton. Yeah, he had a 4-0 lead there right off the bat. A takedown to the back, had a 4-0 lead, and I think was more interested in trying to get additional back points for his team. That's his job.
Right.
But lack of focus, I think, cost him a little bit, and he tried too hard and opened himself up to some vulnerable moves.
He also might have felt a little pressure, you know, because I think West Deptford thought they'd at least split the first 2 weights.
There again, I mean, the pressure on youngsters. These are still youngsters. Everybody's got to remember. I think I might got to take them back safely. Everybody's got to remember, they're still kids. Whether veteran kids or novice kids, they're still kids. And they can feel the pressure. I think John White, everybody on his team expected the defending district and regional champion to go out and get 6 points over a freshman. When he didn't, the adrenaline flow started the other way. That's old momentum taking over.
Yeah, a lot of times, though, I think that equals out.
There's another caution. Okay.
On Maloney this time.
Referee blames himself.
Hamilton started the period on top. Still there, 2-0, 51 seconds left at 140 pounds. Paulsboro leading 19-4.
Well, he did a smart thing that time. He picked the ankle, he broke the man down. Now he has to start working to try and turn the man. Trying to pull the wrist back through. Very difficult to turn a man, doesn't want to be turned, John.
And how much of this is not wrestling at this weight class? Even though he obviously...
Well, you know, I think Hamilton, as a senior, has been through these types of crises before where he's had to wrestle out of his weight class. So I don't think it's a big deal to him. But Vespi did weigh in strictly as a 40-pounder tonight. And Hamilton did weigh in to be eligible at 35, which means he had to give up at least 5 pounds. You see a tilt taking place.
Not going to get anything. He did get the 2.
2 points.
4-0, big 2 points at the end of the period. As we take a look at Marvin Hamilton Jr.
And we're starting on our feet for the second time in 3 periods. West Deptford's choice, choosing the neutral position. Hamilton in deep on a single.
Still neutral.
Nice battle.
Surprised at that, John? Or not really? Since Hamilton was so strong on the top last time, is that why Vespi?
Well, I think so. I think you know, he got 3 choices. He could have started on top of Hamilton. Obviously, didn't think he could ride him.
Right.
He could start on the bottom. He couldn't get off the last period.
Right. Or neutral.
Or go neutral and hope that there's a mistake made. And you know, Hamilton is thinking extra points for his team. He could go unfocused here and make a mistake on his feet.
Still nothing awarded.
Well, almost a stalemate situation.
There it is. We'll start all over again.
I did learn a little bit over the years.
Yeah. Did you ever think about doing that? That's one job I would never want.
Well, you know, ironically, when I first got out of college, that's a few years ago, when I first got out of college, my senior year in college, I was in a cadet class for officiating wrestling. And my first teaching job was at Paulsboro. And Ed Pizarro, the head coach at the time, asked me if I'd like to coach wrestling, and I'd never wrestled in my life. Well, he had never wrestled in his life either. He said, "You just come, I'll teach, you shout, we'll be all right."
There you have it.
And we were. Takedown for Hamilton.
That was 2. An unusual way to get to, but he got it.
Oh, he's doing a workman-like job. Very steady, nothing flashy. The big thing is here, every time you win and get points, that's 1 step closer to a team win.
course, 6-0. You'd like to get 2 back points here, give Paulsboro that extra team point. That's where I think Paul Marino would like to see riding time instituted.
I think there's any doubt about it. And I'm not a so adverse to that myself. I think there was a uniqueness to somebody who could control the opponent out there.
Could get a stall here, maybe.
Well, trying for a tilt. He's got him for a 1 count. Couldn't get the 2. Running out of time. Paulsboro will win this match.
$6-0 Marvin Hamilton. 3 points for Paulsboro. It's 22-4. We'll be back. Okay, 145 pounds. Looking on paper, this is definitely West Deptford's match. Mike Clancy going up against Mike Funk. And Clancy having a very good year for Paulsboro, for West Deptford.
Having a great year. Wish Paulsboro had him. That's what the Paulsboro people might be thinking. Senior, Mike Clancy, 13 wins, 1 loss. His only loss at Muir of Toms River North, 13-5. He was 4th in District 29 last year. Michael Funk, a sophomore, did not wrestle last year, wrestled in the midgets. Took a year off last year. Has had flashes of decent wrestling this year. 5 wins and 9 losses. And
Clancy with the takedown. He's up for nothing.
Experience. That has happened often this year to Michael Funk. That year off has hurt him in a way, in my opinion. Competitive wrestling that you're involved in, you have to keep at it. There's a figure 4 in the head. There's trouble.
I think Clancy knows. Clancy's a senior. He knows, and I think a guy like John Craig knows they have to go out there and they have to get 6.
Right.
They have to get West Deptford back in this match because they look down at the bottom and they see, you know, Jermaine Ruffin, and you have to give that one to Paulsboro right now.
Well, and Troy Bennett's there at the end, and Warren Sharper's been having a good time so far. Well, Nicky B used to say, you have to stop the bleeding somewhere, and this is the time for West Deptford to stage a rally. You got a 2-point near fall for Clancy, 4-0, the lead. Despite the 2-0 on the scoreboard. Who's operating that clock? John Todd?
No, they don't. I don't know. He might be operating the clock.
Well, I thought now maybe he didn't give 2 points, 2 back points.
He is now. He's pointing to the scoreboard. And I think Paul Marina's going over there to check the score. We have 4-0 here.
Doesn't mean we're entirely accurate.
Oh, come on. Fred Booker's in the truck. We're not wrong.
Oh, there's a 4 up on the board.
You want to take that back now, Voj? I make mistakes sometimes, but people in the truck don't.
Well, Freddie Booker had a good English teacher years ago at Paulsboro High School, so I didn't figure he would make any mistake in the truck.
Hey, Voj, who could that English teacher be? You, right?
Well, I taught Michael Funk's father, too. He was a quarterback on my freshman football team.
I saw Mike here today.
And he has another youngster coming up next year. I believe
James.
He's an 8th grader this year, James Funk. Been hearing a lot about him on the midget trail. So as young as Paulsboro is this year, they still have a couple of people coming up in the 8th grade ranks that might be challenging for a starting spot next year.
You know, that's the key to both of these teams. Both schools, West Deptford and Paulsboro, both have strong midget programs. I mean, and that's what's, you know, kept these 2 teams where they have been the last couple years.
There's no doubt that it plays a role. I'm not a midget league wrestling advocate. I've stated that over and over, but it does have some qualities sometimes.
4-0 through 1 period. Clancy leads. You're a big soccer man, Voj. That's what I hear.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
I've learned to appreciate the sport.
Well,
you know, I missed my son's game today. Actually, my son plays for West Deptford, indoor. So there you go.
We won't hold that against him. Clancy starts on the bottom, leading 4-0. Years ago, when I was working at the Gloucester County Times, I was assigned to cover a soccer game one time, and we see Clancy not only get a reversal, but start to get some back points. Not yet. Never broke the plane, so he gets the reversal only at this point. I had to cover a soccer match, John, and I've never recovered from it.
Gotta watch it a few times. Clancy dominating in this match. He's up 6-0 and has Funk in a little trouble again. More than a little trouble.
Oh my, big trouble.
It's not big trouble till we get a no brother.
Well, Funk is fighting, but this is the experience taking over. Clancy, the far more experienced wrestler, the senior. Oh my. Funk is fighting. This was what was so important in the match against Delsey. When Paulsboro beat Delsey, you see a 2-point near fall given to Clancy. Now an 9-0 lead. Must have got 3 points. The important thing in the Delsey match was that Paulsboro fought in many weight classes to stay off their backs, and that ultimately helped them win the meet by a point. And of course, West Deptford beat Delsey the other day, coming right down to the very last weight class. They beat Delsey 33-28. Paulsboro beat Delsey 29-28. It is 8-0.
Key in that match was Bill Atkinson for West Deptford. Trailing a lot of that match, coming back and then winning in overtime. And then Mike Shields, who for so many times it's come down to Mike Shields. Nice to see him come out with a big win.
That's for sure. 8-0, 30 seconds left in his second period. Mike Clancy on top has the lead. Well, the drama has kind of got going out of this match early. West Deptford certainly not completely out of it. 10 seconds left.
Nope.
Potentially dangerous. All right, had the...
Everybody knew, though, that West Deptford could make up ground here. That's what everybody thought. So if they're going to do it, it's got to be now.
Well, it has to be in these next 3 weight classes. Paulsboro is very young in these weight classes. I'm just astounded at the way Paulsboro got out of the blocks tonight. Team score of 22-4 right now. It just amazes me. That's the end of 2 periods. Mike Clancy of West Deptford has built himself an 8-0 lead.
Yeah, nice. You got to like Mike Clancy's hair. That shade of green.
It's got a little tinge of green to it, or else our monitor here is playing tricks with my eyes.
That's green.
We start neutral in the 3rd period. We get a quick takedown by Mike Clancy. It's now 10-0. Coming into tonight, oh my. West Deptford 7-2 overall, 5-0 in the Colonial, number 8 in the Courier Post poll. Paulsboro 8-1-1, 6-0 in the Colonial, number 7 in the poll. So we had number 7 against number 8.
And 2 very close matches, actually, because they lost to Camden Catholic and the one we did against Kingsway.
Yes.
Kingsway's up in the top 5.
And that was 2 out of the first 3 meets of the year. Lost to Camden Catholic 36-33, right down the last weight class, as you see Funk get a reversal. And there could be a situation you were trying to point out, John, when you need all these extra team points for your team, you tend to make mistakes. And Clancy was trying very, very hard. But again, we're in the 3rd period, and this seems to be where Paulsboro many, many times starts to prevail in the 3rd period. West Deptford lost to Camden Catholic 36-33 and lost to Kingsway 39-27.
We're 10-2 right here, 40 seconds left. Mike Clancy of West Deptford leading Mike Funk of Paulsboro.
If might get a stalling call in the bottom here, believe it or not, for the guy that's leading 10-2. If Funk could turn his man here in the last 25 seconds, interestingly, you could have a regular decision. Not so sure it's going to happen. From the Delsey-Pennsville match, Delsey prevailed 38-31, meaning that Tri-County Royal will come right down to Delsey and Kingsway. Last 5 seconds.
So a moral victory for Paulsboro. They lose the match 10-2, but only give up 4 points on the scoreboard. 22-8 now, Paulsboro's lead.
Well, you know, and heading into that bout, we had wrestled 7 weight classes, and Paulsboro took 6 out of 7. That is amazing. When I walked into this building, I thinking Paulsboro would have to fight like the devil to get a 7-7 split.
From Paulsboro.
And I'll take one more win from Paulsboro as a sure thing.
Yeah, you would think Jermaine Ruffin's obviously favorite. Hey, anything can happen.
Tom Trexler.
Okay, we got another freshman coming out, Tom Trexler.
And he's going up against Mike Kendrick.
Tommy Trexler, a freshman, another highly talented freshman. He has wrestled 9 times this year, has won 5 out of 9 times. Mike Kendrick, of course, he was in that infamous match last year against Paulsboro where Jason Brown put him down rather heavily, and Kendrick won by injury default, and that made that match go right to the end. You see Trexler get a 2-point near fall. Kendrick 8 wins, 4 losses this year. He lost to Rob Booth of Camden Catholic by a fall, lost to Matt Hoover of Kingsway. Tech fall, 22-6 and 5-17. Lost to Brian Counselor of Pennsville by a fall, and lost the other night to Jamie Howard of Gateway, 15-4. Tom Trexler of Paulsboro, the freshman, is up 2-0. There's an escape.
Minute 20 left. And this is the, how's this on the experience factor too, John? Kendrick, a senior. Trexler, just a freshman.
Well, again, nice movement by Trexler. You see, the reason the takedown wasn't secured there is because you have to get control of your man. You have to get behind and get control. And Trexler kept moving, and that's the key that young people have to learn in wrestling. You have to keep moving out there. Kendrick, a year ago, as we mentioned, wrestled against Jason Brown, one of the dominant wrestlers for Paulsboro, but Kendrick won by disqualification when Brown was called for an illegal slam. And of course, that set up the match going right down to the very last bout.
Here's the 2 for Kendrick.
And there's the experience. He's wrestling an inexperienced wrestler. Pressure starts to build a little bit, pushes his head down, spins behind. I mean, these are basic moves, but moves that wrestlers that are more mature, age-wise, have a tendency to be the stronger at that situation. They're about equal in tattoos. I see Kendrick has one on the arm and Trexler one on the leg.
Yeah, I don't think there's $700 there.
No. After the last 15 seconds of the first period, 3-2. Mike Kendrick leading.
And trying to get some back points, not quite there yet. Now we might get some. Does he have enough time? He can start with the count. He got 2. He got 2.
In the last 5 seconds of the period, near fall gives Kendrick 5-0 lead heading into the second period.
Vince Layton, the assistant coach, and there's
Brian Farnham,
the head coach in the white shirt. A lightweight and a heavier. Farnham, Layton was what, 60, 71 in that range when he wrestled here?
Well, he wrestled just a few years ago against Paulsboro.
And Trexler's in trouble. Nice move by Kendrick.
Oh, brother.
This could wake the West Deptford crowd up.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
Plenty of time. Minute 30 left in the second.
Oh, brother. He's got that tight. He's got that tight. He's got it tight. Oh, brother. Oh, my. A minute to go. Second period.
And obviously this takes a lot out of Trexler.
Oh my.
Trying to fight this off.
Well, it can't be much closer. Oh, brother.
But here you see Al Maloney telling you how much.
Oh my. Oh, brother. Oh, my.
That's it. Yep. Kendrick got the 6. West Deptford needed that 6 badly. We have a match again, 22-14. And what'll be interesting now, John, is if John Craig comes out for West Deptford, if they wait till 171. And they're sending Craig out now. Craig goes out first. And Andy DiGiambattista.
All right, what we got again? We got a freshman against a senior. John Craig, the veteran, 15-0 this year, 77-14 in his career, second in District 29 last year, third for Shalicon in districts as a sophomore. No takedown yet. DiGiambattista, freshman, been wrestling at 71. DiGiambattista, 4-6 coming in this match. John, I've seen him wrestle several times. There's a 2-point takedown for Craig. I just think somewhere down the line, maybe not next year, maybe the year after, but DiGiambattista is going to be a good one. And he'll be here for 3 more years, along with Troy Bennett, who's also a freshman. And they're going to help the upper weights from Paulsboro for a couple years to come. Near side cradle.
Craig is just so sound.
Well, and DiGiambattista will learn as experience grows. You have to move on the bottom. You can't keep your head down. He's caught in the cradle. Craig gets his hips out. It's going to be curtains. Oh, my. Oh, brother. Instant near shoulder is what's up. DiGiambattista fighting. Craig's going to release it, take the 3-point near fall. Lets DiGiambattista go. 45 seconds to go in the period. Craig is like a shark around a wounded fish right now. Smells blood. DiGiambattista did not move. Got caught in the takedown. Got caught in the cradle.
This could be it.
Oh, my. Oh, brother. Momentum is changing. Well, he's going to survive the period, John. 3-point near fall. Puts him up 10-1. John Craig up 10-1 after 1 period. We mentioned earlier, John Craig's father was on the 68 team to beat Paulsboro, along with Adam Reed's father, and of course later we'll see Mikey Shields, and his father, Jimmer, was on that team to beat Paulsboro in 1968. Escape. Takedown.
It's a quick 3. Craig's got to worry now. He doesn't want to give up that tech fall. Or he doesn't want the tech fall right now.
It's 13-1 right now. Scoreboard has 11. It's 13. Okay, 13. That's 12. If he gets a near fall,
he's got it. If he takes him goes back, he's got to keep him there.
He's got to keep him there. He's got to try and pin him. If he gets out of this. Oh, brother! He's not getting out. Not getting out of this one. Big cradle.
We're going to take a break. Paulsboro 22, West Deptford 20. Well, we're back at 171. Paulsboro is sending out Troy Bennett, their freshman sensation.
And for West Deptford?
West Deptford has out Ken Fetter, who's 5-6 on the season.
Okay, we have a senior against a freshman, but this is not a normal freshman, John. Let me tell you, I've seen Troy Bennett since the beginning of the season. Well, I saw him in football season, the backup linebacker and fullback on the football team. Troy Bennett is 14-3 this year. He lost to Dan Connolly at Brick Memorial in the Caldwell tournament. Takedown for Paulsboro. lost to Doug Norris 9-4 in the Deep Creek tournament. Then he lost to a wrestler from First Colonial in the Deep Creek tournament in overtime. Those are his 3 losses. He has not lost around here yet. He's going to be a good one, John. 14 wins, 3 losses this year. Ken Fetter, a senior, 5 wins and 6 losses.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next weight class too now.
Well, that's true. And if Atkinson...
West Deptford sends out first next.
Well, no, they don't, because Troy Bennett was on... Oh, yes, you're right. West Deptford sent a wrestler out first. So if they send Atkinson out, Paulsboro could bump Warren Sharper up a weight. Or they might just put him out against Atkinson, too. Well, we'll see what happens. Right now, the issue at hand is how many points Troy Bennett can get for his team here. The reason for having him down at 71 is because the coaching staff felt very, very positively that Troy Bennett could get more than a 3-point win here.
And he's up 2-0. He's still got a minute left in the first period. Troy Bennett on top for Paulsboro.
Yeah, he was the one that played the major role in the win against Delsey, because he got a tech ball right at the 6-minute mark. He kept working. And, of course, to get that tech ball, he had to keep letting his man up and taking him down. It was a hard way to do it. But he got the tech ball, and that set up the clinching pin by Jermaine Ruffin at heavyweight. I guess the question mark here is when did Bennett cut down to this weight? How much did he have made ahead of time? Because when you're cutting weight, you have to have your body's got to have a little bit of resistance time, a little bit of time to rejuvenate, so to speak. But he looks pretty strong to me, John.
Absolutely, and especially when you're going from 89 to 71. That's a big jump. It's not the 5-pound jump.
He's working hard. 14 seconds left in the first period. Troy Bennett 2, Ken Fetter of West Deptford 0. The team lead that at one time was 22-4 suddenly has shrunk to 22-20.
But like we mentioned, West Deptford knew that they could make up some ground in the middle. I think they thought, however, they were going to win some of those matches early that they didn't win. And if Paulsboro should go on and win, and this match is far from over, but if Paulsboro should go on to win, I think they'll look back at the lighter weights.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt. I think the shocking loss at 112, Jesse Thorne's huge win over John White was one big factor, and I think the win by Preston Hamilton over Steve Stetson was another huge factor. West Deptford's only win in the first 7 weight classes was by Jason Gardner, and that was a 4-pointer, and I think a lot of people were conceding close to 6 points for Gardner in that weight class.
Bennett, does he get out in time? No.
Leading 2-0.
4 seconds into the second period. Team scores 22-20. Paulsboro leads. And at 171, Troy Bennett leading Ken Fetter by a score of 2-0. You know,
Kevin Harvey played such an instrumental role in Paulsboro's streak that is now 51 consecutive matches in South Jersey. It's a South Jersey record within 3 of a state record. I think that Troy Bennett is going to be not as dominating a force as Kevin Harvey, because Kevin Harvey was so explosive offensively. He could do so many things. He had the ball in his hands so many times as a runner or as a thrower. But I think this young man is going to be a dominant force on defense the next 3 years.
Yeah, I heard a lot about him when he was in 8th grade, and people said, look out for him, look out for him.
Well, you know, and unfortunately, the tag from all the spectators was what a dominant wrestler he was in the midgets or in 8th grade.
Right.
Well, hey, there's a big difference, very big difference.
No takedown.
Between 8th grade and the midgets and wrestling on a high school level. The young man come in wrestling at 215, 189 pounds. You're fighting age, you're fighting maturity, you're fighting a lot of things.
And some pretty good wrestlers in that weight class
also. Absolutely. And no one from South Jersey has beaten him yet. The 3 losses were to one North Jersey wrestler as a takedown and a wrestler from Virginia, 2 wrestlers in the Virginia tournament. So Troy Bennett had just an outstanding career ahead of him, following in the footsteps of, guys like Kevin Ross and Flipper Anderson and Kevin Harvey and Glenn Howard himself. Glenn was quite a football player at Paulsboro. Intentional escape, freestyle start.
5-1, so if he lets him up, he's got to take him down. I think Paulsboro really needs to get extra points. Just
well,
to get in that comfort zone.
Yeah, I like a cushion at this point because after Troy wrestles, and there's a takedown.
Yeah, West Deptford's favored in the next 2 weight classes.
Yes, I say. And, you know, we saw a disqualification last year by the obvious better of the 2 wrestlers. He was called for an illegal slam, and that was a big 12-point swing.
Absolutely.
It's injury timeout. If Paulsboro were to get to 6 points in this weight class, John, just looking ahead theoretically, if they get to 6 points in this weight class, it makes it 28-20. If West Deptford gets maximum points in the next 2 weight classes after that, they would take a 32-28 lead into the last weight class. So they would have the lead going into the last weight if we see maximum points all the way through here. And I think there's a good possibility that you're going to see extra points, especially from Mikey Shields.
Right.
He's kind of been snake bit in the last couple years against Paulsboro. He's got to be getting frustrated. Lost to John David from Paulsboro twice last year, once in a dual meet, once in a regionals. He lost to Jermaine Ruffin the year before when he put Jermaine on his back. Jermaine fought off his back and beat Shields 10-6. So we got an individual out cruising for a little bit of revenge. He swore he would not lose to a Paulsboro wrestler this year.
Okay, Federer is set, 7-1, 45 seconds left, second period. Looks like Bennett's going to let Federer go.
Freestyle start. Gives him the intentional escape, and as we've said many, many times, you let him go, you better be able to take him down.
And he does.
And
he lets him go again.
And lets him go again.
Is this what he did in the Delsey match?
This is what he did in the Delsey match. You know, he's looking for tech fall.
And he's quick.
And you also, if you take the guy down sometimes.
Got to take him down under control, John.
Right. And the other thing is, sometimes when you take him down, you're getting to a point where you can expose him to his back right away and go for the pin.
It's 11-3, 20 seconds left. Second period. I think if he takes him down here, he's got to hold him down in the final 20 seconds. And he gets him here, 13-3, and they're out. Nicky Marina, one of the assistants. It's a lot of Marinas over there. Carmel, Paul,
I think the scoreboard is wrong. I think it's 13-4. There's been 4 escapes.
Okay, well, I'm sure West Deptford. You know, we've seen West Deptford do this in the Kingsway match where they waited until after the match.
Yeah.
You know, to keep the opponent off guard. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it should be 13-4.
And well, actually, Brian Farnham's going over to check the score now, and so is Nick Marina, one of the assistants for Paulsboro. Those points were flying fast. You can see how somebody can miss it.
Yeah, and Farnham obviously wants the 4 points up there because, you know, you never want to get in a position where you get a tech fall too soon. 13-4 is the score. They're debating it over there. Well, we're trying to sort things out. You see Nicky Marina with his hand on his hip.
There should be 4 points.
And we're through 2 periods.
You got it, John. If we don't get it in the truck, you have it out here.
West Deptford's choice this period. He takes...
Taking top.
Yeah, well, he first said bottom, then he said top.
13-4.
Well, Bennett's got to move here. He's winning 13-4. Locking hands. And
He'll get a reverse.
Not yet. Yeah, he's got it.
Did he get the 2? Got the 2.
So he gets 1 point for locking hands.
So he gets 3. So that should be what? 16-4.
Right. 16-4. That's 12-point differential. I think you're going to see him let him go and try and take him down again.
And that's what Bennett's saying.
Freestyle start. 16-5. In on the single. Bennett is smooth. Oh, brother. 18-5, 18-6.
Next, okay, no, not next takedown. Okay, so we have to try and get him on his back after this takedown.
That's right.
I guess he'll do that till what? Till about 30 seconds left, and then if he can, he'll let him go and take him down again.
Now, what's the debate now?
Oh, another
This is when we
discrepancy.
should have the mic on over there.
Yeah, maybe we can bring up John Cobb's mic. Okay, just checking the score.
It should be 18-6. Score should be 18-6.
That's what they're talking about.
And then start the clock, okay? 5 seconds.
5 seconds off.
Should be 1:35.
Okay.
Oh, they're going to put 5 seconds back on the clock.
Well, and they shortchanged the kid a point, too. It's 18-6.
Yeah, John Cobb is saying it should be 6, and it should be a minute 35, not a minute 30.
Yeah. They got a minute 35 up there.
Put it up there.
It should be 18-6. We'll see.
Well, they got 18-5.
They got the 6 now.
6. Okay, 12-point differential. Well, you got to keep right on top of this one.
And this is where Bennett can't get sloppy.
Now he's got to be careful. Now he's got the 2. That makes it 20-6.
Okay, John. I guess I
thought 20-7.
I thought he'd try and take him to his back, for at least 30 seconds.
Now, if he takes him down one more time, it's a tech fall.
Right.
There it is, right here. Paulsboro takedown. The match should be over.
And it is.
22-7. Tech fall at 4 minutes and 52 seconds.
It makes it 27-20, Paulsboro.
Well, that stopped the bleeding.
Now,
as we said, West Deptford has the advantage in the next 2 weight classes.
Well, Atkinson definitely, I think, is going to go out for West Deptford.
That's who it is. Billy Atkinson, who's 11-3, had that big win against Delsey, a tough loss against Kingsway.
All right, we're going to see Tony Marina, which surprises me a little bit here.
Tony Marina.
He's a freshman. That's
And
Marina.
Inexperience here. Bill Atkinson, a very good football player, in my opinion. Saw him during the football season. Seen him wrestle a few times.
Marina's only wrestled once a varsity match. He's 0-1.
0-1. Atkinson,
takedown.
11-3. He lost to a wrestler from Southern Regional. He lost to a Haddon Township wrestler. He lost to Brian Jameson, 1-0 from Kingsway. But definitely the more experienced wrestler here, as you can see. 4-1 with the second takedown. That means they're probably going to use Warren Sharper next against, and I think they're going to go with Mikey Shields. Well, let's see, if they get 6 here, it's going to be 27-26, 32-27. That's what they're counting on. Paulsboro is willing to give up a possibility of 12 points in these next 2 weight classes, because then they'd only be losing by 5 going into heavyweight and would need to pin. And I just think that there's a big experience differential in that heavyweight class with Chris Murphy and Jermaine Ruffin. And if they send Chris Murphy out at 215, then I think the advantage goes to Warren Sharper. If you're thinking of matching up Mike Shields against Jermaine Ruffin. 40 seconds ago, first period, Bill Atkinson has a 4-1 lead over young Tony Marina. The wheels are turning yet, John.
Okay, 17 seconds left, 4-1. As we said, Atkinson, 2 big matches he was involved in. We talked about the Kingsway match, 1-0, losing to Jameson. And then he came back, a win that West Deptford definitely needed against Delsey. He won that, and West Deptford goes on to beat Delsey.
Atkinson leading 4-1 after a period.
Ryan Farnham, I'm sure he didn't think this job was easy, but I mean, how'd you like to be involved in 3 matches like this so early in your career?
Well,
actually 4, huh? Camden Catholic,
yeah.
West Kingsway, Delsey, and now this one.
Well, he knew going into the situation. He's a Colonial Conference guy, Haddon Township graduate. He was an assistant at Haddon Township. As you see, a reversal to the back. Big trouble for Tony Marina. Oh my! Not going to get out of this one. Oh, brother. A lot of time left in the period. Atkinson's got it. Oh, brother. Oh. He sits throwing that hard, John. He's got the fall. Oh, my. There it is. 2 minutes, 49 seconds.
It's a 1-point match, 27-26, Paulsboro leads. We'll be back. A big match for West Deptford, 2:15. They trail by a point. Warren Shopper for Paulsboro, he's 4-0. Mikey Shields, 6-2.
Oh, my.
And, Shopper right after, but he's in trouble. Shields has him back.
My.
Shields has him in trouble.
Right to his back. A bull rush by Sharper. Not a good decision. Oh, my. Oh!
West Deptford is out in front, 32-27. For the 3rd straight year, we go down to the heavyweight.
Oh, brother. Not a good decision by Sharper to bull rush Mike Shields. Mike Shields went into the match 6-2. Sharper 4-0. But here you have Chris Murphy, a junior, 1-0. Jermaine Ruffin, the defending state champion, 15-0 this year, 92-14 in his career, a 3-time District 29 champion, 2nd in the region last year, and a returning state champ, as I mentioned.
And this is the exact situation Ruffin was in last year.
Exactly. Came right down to him, and he needed 6 points last year. And you remember he was ever so close to a technical fall against Pat Paley's, and Pat Paley's was injured and had an injury default with 6 points. Gave Paulsboro a 31-30 win. The year before it came right down to heavyweight. Ruffin beat Shields 10-6. There's a takedown.
Right to his back, and there are at least half the people in this gym standing for this final match.
Now Ruffin has to be careful here. He's got a 5-point tech fall will end this match in a tie. This meet will end in a tie. Ruffin is the experienced wrestler. He has to take his time. He has to break the man down. He has to work the good moves. He needs 6 points. It came down as we expected. Didn't we say before this program that we thought it would come right down to the last weight again?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, the pins, West Deptford came through with the pins.
Oh, they certainly did. They certainly did. Of their 6 wins so far, 4 by fall, 2 by major.
Now we got another discussion. Looks like the 2 coaches are talking this time. And can't tell you what that's about.
Well, if we had the referee,
they're asking some people to move. Okay, Ruffin on top.
He has to break his man down, work for the fall, very cautiously. Oh my!
Almost.
Oh, brother!
Not quite.
Oh,
Now he has
brother!
his back.
Oh my!
Murphy's in trouble, but he's not going to get turned yet. Murphy doing a great job.
High bridge. Ruffin's got to take his time.
Now he's
Oh,
got him. Now he's
brother!
got him. It's over.
Oh,
Paulsboro
brother!
wins.
The streak lives on. 216 consecutive wins in the Colonial Conference for Paulsboro. The streak lives.
Hey, unless there's a penalty point, we got to get him off the mat. 33-32.
Look at Paul Marina pick up Jermaine Ruffin right off the mat.
Paulsboro wins their 216th consecutive match in the Colonial Conference. We'll be back. We'll talk to Paul Marina, try and get a wrestler out there. Tell you what, all came down to 112. We'll be back. And we're back at West Deptford High School. Paulsboro wins 33-32. Their 216th straight win in the conference. And I'll tell you, the key to the whole match, a lot of times it goes down to the heavyweight, and it did again tonight, but would not have gone down to the heavyweight if it wasn't for 112-pounder Jesse Thorne. Jesse, big win. I mean, when you went into this match, were you thinking that you were going up against a district and region champ?
Nah, I was really the underdog, you know what I mean? So they was like, you ain't got nothing to lose. Just go out there, wrestle your heart out. And if you wrestle your heart out till the third period, I know you will win. And I can't emphasize enough how much the coaches mean to me. Like, they just telling me, informing me and stuff they would do, look out, this circle and all that. And I really wanted to quit, you know what I mean, earlier in the year because I was getting tired of it and not making weight. And there's a lot of people that pushed me, like Pickle and Jermaine Ruffin, Pickle. And there's so many people that just pushed me and didn't let me stop. That's how I think I won today.
And at the end of the third period, when he got out and tied the score, what was your thought going into overtime?
I thought that was my period, really, because I knew I was better conditioned than him. And this started last year. This didn't start like a week from now. We started running and lifting in the summer and going to camps and keeping your body well conditioned. That really started me out last year, helped me out, really.
You have any questions, folks?
Well, I think, Jesse, one of the big things that people want to know is that the mystique going into this thing, Paulsboro with so many young people in the lineup, yourself being a freshman, the other freshmen in the lineup, you can't give up big points. You're kind of like at a disadvantage going in, and yet 16 matches in a row hanging over your head, the Colonial Conference hanging over your head. Any other ways of preparing? I mean, what do you look at for 3D? You haven't wrestled since last Wednesday. The team hasn't wrestled since last Wednesday. What do you do each night looking forward to this?
Just praying to God and hoping, and just it's really the Lord that helped us out. Keep working hard, keep pulling from within. And Coach Marina, he emphasized so much that it was 25 years Colonial Conference champions put down in the 6 minutes, and that's all I could think about.
Okay, Jess, congratulations. We're going to get Jermaine in. Jermaine, third straight year this match has come down to you.
Yeah.
You getting tired of it? You like this kind of stuff?
I can't say that I like it, but I mean, I take the responsibility. You know, this is my team, me and my coach's team, and we worked so hard all year, the team, and we deserve this. You know, we didn't win this today. We won this all year, wrestling and running and stuff like that.
We won this last year.
It's just be all right.
What was the mindset of the team, losing to Absegami and then tying Millville? A lot of people thought, Paulsboro was done. They had Delsey coming up. They thought you wouldn't beat those guys. What was the thought of Paulsboro going into the Delsey match and getting ready for this match?
We just knew we had to step it up. A lot of people was worrying if we going to fold or what we going to do. You know, we knew what we was going to do. We was going to keep working hard, and we're a lot better now than we was when we wrestled them. And we keep working hard. We'll be Group 1 state champions again.
Talk about the preparation. Last year, you were a state champion, so obviously everybody's gunning after you. Yeah. How do you prepare for each match?
I just do the same thing I did last year, just keep working hard, running, studying, and just keep my mind focused on what I got to do this year.
Do you look at any opponents, look down the road, look and see who's in North Jersey or anything like that?
I really know, but I'm just worrying about one match at a time right now.
John?
The fact that there's just 2 seniors in the starting lineup, Pickle, Ham's in there, you're in there, is a very, very young team. Yeah. The pressure that keeps building, in the Colonial Conference as match after match after match goes by. I mean, is that something that puts more pressure on you and him in practice? I mean, you're looking after all these little guys who are relatively inexperienced. You think back to when you were a freshman, and you've been a 3-time district champion. You've had success. This is your 93rd career win tonight. You've had success, but people look up to you to be a leader. Does this put more pressure on you in the practice room to be more vocal, to work harder? I mean, you're 275 pounds. The guy that's 106 pounds, maybe it's a little easier for him to do the running and the exercising and the drills.
It makes it a little harder for me, you know. I know I got to keep up with these guys, these little guys in the hallways and stuff. I know if I'm tired, I got to push myself because I don't want to look bad. I got to be the leader. But it's hard, you know. I mean, it's only me and him, and Demian, even though he's a junior, he's still a leader. But when I was a freshman, I had like 5, 6, 7, maybe eight seniors, you know.
Right.
And it's just hard. And these guys listen. I mean, they pretty much tell you they listen to what you tell them, you know. And they work hard. So really, I ain't really gotta say nothing to them. Let's make weight, you know. Basically, that's it.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is that the streak continues because of somebody like yourself who's a senior. The pride, you reach down deep for the pride. Anybody say anything special to you over the last 2 days?
Nah, not really. It's just.
We have a visitor at practice yesterday?
Did I have a visitor?
Any football players?
Kevin Ross came down here, and he got the guys pretty pumped up at practice, and he's a good leader. He's a good inspiration to a lot of these guys because they look up to him. You know, he's at the basketball game. I mean, I seen him sitting in the stands. I seen guys walk up to him. They sat next to him. They just want to be around him. You know, so he's good to have around.
Well, guess what? A lot of people are going to want to be around you for a little time too, Jermaine. Another great job. Congratulations.
Okay, we're going to bring Paul Marine in. Thanks, guys.
Keep them here if you want. Keep them
Uh,
with my boys, man.
How's this compared to last year? I mean, last year I know you were emotionally drained. How's this one?
It ranked straight up there, you know, just as high as last year. I think last year was the difference was we were down at one time by so much, and we just we looked out of it when we came back. In the situation this year, we got ahead fast, and we did the job down at the lower weights. But Matt Hunkler's getting us a point there, you know, after being taken down at the beginning of the match. You can't say enough about Jesse's effort, you know, and that's his heart. And right on down the line, Preston Hamilton, you know, he's had a rough year with adjusting to his weight, but hey, he did the job when he had to, and he was behind in that match also. But it's just character. The kids, we talked a lot about character this week, and we just said that if you go out and work as hard as you can and give it a hard 6 minutes, that was the key. And hey, it's a team effort, you know. But
We talked to the kids about the Absegami and Millville matches. What was the mood like? Because a lot of people were writing Paulsboro off after that match because you had Delsey coming up, and a lot of people thought Delsey could beat you. And then you beat Delsey and you get into this match. What was the mood like after those matches against Absegami and Millville, getting ready for Delsey?
It was tough and a little bit scary. I think I thought we wrestled well against Absegami, but we just made some adjustments that sort of didn't go our way. But I think we learned. It's a learning experience, and I think at that point our kids could either have folded or come back strong. And they're showing us that they're coming back strong. And the one thing I can say is that you can't teach heart, and you don't know when it's going to come up sometimes. And it seems like the person you don't expect sometimes gives you an effort that saves you. And this guy here was overweight, 2 pounds a day. You know, he's driving me nuts. And you hang in there. You hang with a young person like this, and look what he does for the team. And, but it's a team effort. There's a lot of good other Mike Funk's effort, Troy Bennett. You know, everyone had to. You know, it just goes right. Marvin Hamilton, everybody. DJ Kama beats a senior, a freshman. Hey, they're rising to the occasion, and that's a good thing to see.
How much did you talk about the 215 straight conference wins, the 25 straight titles?
Well, they know it's there, and we talked not real long, it was briefly about it, and our slogan for today was 6 minutes for 25 years. And we felt that if they went out and the 6 minutes represent 25 years of hard work and dedication, not by them, by people 25 years in the program. And I just wanted them to give a hard 6 minutes because I felt confident that our third period would be to our favor.
Anything before we wrap it up, John?
Well, the only thing I want to say is that we've gone over this in our minds over and over for the last couple of days. How I told John going into it, I thought it would be a 7-7 split tonight, and you actually won 8 matches, and it was so close at the end because you give up some bonus points. But I think the bottom line is how well you and your staff had them prepared for any possibility of juggling there, and I think you come up with the right answers tonight. Congratulations, an exciting win again.
And the other thing is, that's what I was going to say to you, but I give a lot of the credit to my cousin Nikki Marina and Steve Anishevsky. I don't even mess with the lineup. I trust them with the lineup and let them research and do what they have to do. And they actually tell me who to send out there in a lot of cases. We talk about it, but hey, they get the credit, and I just take care of the big guys. And this guy here, I'm going to miss him next year. We'll see if I can get another year of eligibility out of him. But he's been in this situation so many times.
Paul, congratulations. We'll see you in about 9 days. Tough one against Kingsway.
Thank you. Okay, guys.
Okay, Voj. We'll get Voj squeezing in here. He wants to stay far away from me.
I don't blame him. I want to get the tape up and get the mats up too.
I don't think we can say anything else about this match that hasn't already been said. Just a typical Paulsboro West Deptford match.
It sure was. We expected it to be a barn burner right down to the end. We felt that Paulsboro, if it came down to the end, would have the key. As it turned out, I mean, this is 3 years in a row where Jermaine Ruffin had to play a starring role. But as you mentioned, as you were talking with Jesse Thorne, what Matt Hunkler did, what Jesse Thorne did, what Preston Hamilton did, it's a matter of pride in that lineup, and the mystique rolls on.
Okay, for John Vogeding, I'm John Mondelli. The final score from West Deptford High School, Paulsboro 33, West Deptford 32. We'll see you next time.